everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been off the radar. You guys know I try to stick to my upload schedule, but life happens and yeah. But I am back today with a review video for you guys. I recently purchased one of the new Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes that came out. I think it was probably like March or April. I'm not too sure. But I purchased one of the Jean-Michel Basquiat eyeshadow palettes. This is the gold Griot eyeshadow palette. Just to get into details about the collection, there was 2 eyeshadow palettes, this one that I purchased and another one that I do want to purchase, so hopefully I can. There was also 3 lipsticks, I think a couple of eyeliner pencils, and then it was like a blush palette. But my main focus was to get one of the eyeshadow palettes. This caught my eye, of course. So if you want to know my opinions and my thoughts and honesty on this palette, then make sure you guys keep watching. Now this look that you see, I did create using this eyeshadow palette. So you guys will see a video on how I created this look. But before I actually get into my honest thoughts and opinions on this palette, I want to talk about the packaging, because the packaging is one of the first things that caught my eye. So the eyeshadow palette is inside of this box. If you are familiar with Urban Decay or most eyeshadow palettes in general, they do come inside of a box. And usually what you see on the front of the box is what's going to be on the front of the palette. So it says Urban Decay, the Urban Decay logo. Then it says Jean-Michel Basquiat. This actually is one of his paintings, I believe. So that really did catch my eye. I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you guys I am a huge art fan, because I am not. I do like art, not as much as I used to when I was younger, but when I see some good art and art that catches my eye, that's when I know. So this caught my eye for real, and I'm not even going to sit up here and lie and tell you guys I know everything about Jean-Michel Basquiat, because I don't. I really did not learn about him in school as far as when I was learning about art. I don't even recall learning much about him or hearing his name in one of my art classes in college. So that's what it is, straight up. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I just know everything about this man, because I don't. But on the back, it kind of gives some, not too much, but it kind of gives a short, introduction about Jean-Michel Basquiat. Not too much. It just pretty much says, Jean-Michel Basquiat, creativity knew no limits, a true pioneer of the neo-expressionist movement. He quickly rose to fame on the 80s art scene in NYC. His iconic paintings and drawings are still exhibited all over the world. So that's pretty much what it says, and then it's basically letting you guys know that it's housed in a mini reproduction of Basquiat's artwork. The special edition eyeshadow palette features 8 exclusive neutrals inspired by his paintings, plus a double-ended brush. When you're done with the shadows, use the hanger to display the palette on your wall. So I will show you that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the palette out of the box so you guys can see. This is how the palette looks. This is the front and this is the back. And I mentioned on the back of the box, it said that you can hang it up. So they have this little thing that you can, you know, hang this palette on your wall. And it's basically like, you know, just one of his artworks on your wall pretty much. It has like this, I think this is like a crown. So this was like one of his... This basically, I can't get it out. Can't get my words out. But it has like this little crown that basically represents Jean-Michel Basquiat. So let's go ahead and open the palette. So this is how the palette looks. It comes with a mirror. Urban Decay is pretty good with including a mirror in their eyeshadow palettes, which I do love. I do not use them a lot, but I think it's pretty helpful for on the go and stuff. And then here are the eyeshadow. You can't really see these because of my lighting. Well, here you go. So these are the shadows. So I am going to let you guys know what each shadow is. And this is a neutral palette, which I do enjoy neutrals. I know I like to play in colors a lot, but I also just like a simple, pretty neutral kind of look. So I'm really happy that I did get this palette for sure. I definitely wanted this one. So these shades were inspired by his artwork. So the first one is Enigma. The second one is Levitation. Third one is Not for Sale. Fourth one is Sucker Punch. Fifth one is Influence. Sixth one is BK. Seventh one is Pseudonym. And third one is Crown. Now, if you have me on Snapchat and also on Instagram, and also if you liked my page on Facebook, I did swatch these shadows when I received the palette and I uploaded them. So some of you guys probably already seen them. I am not going to swatch them again. I'm just going to insert those videos into this video so you guys can see the swatches. I did swatches with the flash on, and I took a picture without the flash and with the flash. So, you know what? Actually, no. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these again so you guys can see them in this video, but I'm also going to insert those videos still. So the first one is going to be Enigma, Levitation, Not for Sale, Sucker Punch, Influence, BK, Pseudonym, and Crown. So I'm going to insert a video so you guys can see the video because my lighting is pretty bright. So it was kind of hard to see some of those swatches. But now I'm going to talk about the actual shades and the formula. Now I noticed when I had first swatched these, and the first two for sure are, well, the first three are like matte shades. I actually used Levitation as a transition shade for this look, and I used Not for Sale. Now, I had noticed for sure with Enigma, that's the first one, that's this very pale one right here. I had noticed when I first watched it that it was kind of chalky. Now, normally when we think of chalky, we're thinking it's bad quality, a lot of fallout, all of that. But eyeshadows that are always chalky does not mean that they are not good. These shadows overall, I think they're pretty good. I think they're easy to blend. I had no trouble blending the shadows to create this eye look. So they are a little bit chalky for real, the first one, but not too much. I think they are still workable. As far as the shades, the rest of the shades, I do love them, absolutely love them. My favorite is Influence and Not for Sale. Influence is a like metallic shimmery one right here. It's kind of bronzy. And Not for Sale is kind of like this brown matte. So far, these are my favorite. Now, it looks like, you know, you have 3 mattes and the rest are pretty much metallic shimmery shades. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Of course, I'm always honest in my reviews. But with this eyeshadow palette, there's really not much you can do with it. You can only work with so many. And I feel like these shades, for real, you can match up together because that's what I did. As far as these, not so much. I think if I want to create a look with these, I would have to totally, for real, use some other eyeshadows to create some kind of look that I'm going for. But these, for real, out of the whole eyeshadow palette, you definitely can create a look using these because Hello, I did. With this palette, there's really not much that you can do with it. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you think about it, normally we don't always use one palette all the time to create one look. So that's not really a bad thing. It kind of sucks that you really don't have a lot of options of creating looks with this palette because of more so these shades down here. But you guys know with me, I can make something work. So I do plan on doing another look using this palette just to play with the colors and see what I can create. But I don't know if I said it already, I probably did. But the shades are pretty easy to blend. I didn't have any trouble blending them. These shades that I've actually used were not for sale. This like brown one was pretty pigmented to me. I did not have to really add more. In the tutorial, you see that I added more. That's because I was trying to darken it up for my satisfaction. But it's that one for sure is pretty pigmented. As far as Enigma, with that one, you would have to work with that one. Enigma actually reminds me of, I think it's Booty Call in the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette that I have. I just think it's either around the same color or this one might be darker. So Enigma is definitely a shade that you have to work with. Levitation is more so for me a transition shade. This reminds me of ColourPop's Cornelius, which you guys see me use very, very often. So this will be a transition shade that I pretty much use. Everything else I can get some use out of, like I said. But as far as the swatches, as you guys can tell, definitely Enigma and Levitation are two of the eyeshadows that you have to work with and build up. I do like this palette. As I stated, I do not regret buying this palette. It was $39. I didn't really watch any videos here on YouTube about this palette because I feel like when I really want something, I genuinely want it. I want to go spend my money on it and I want to see how I feel about it. Because sometimes we watch reviews on something that we want and then it, you know, you see bad reviews, good reviews, and it kind of leaves us with a mind like, should I buy it? Should I not? And I don't like doing that when I really want something. I knew that I wanted this palette. I knew that I want the other palettes, so I did not watch any videos from other YouTubers on their review. No swatches and none of that. I went ahead and I purchased it. And I do not regret purchasing it. Of course, after purchasing it, I did watch a couple videos just to get other people's opinion. Some people felt like this palette was not pigmented enough. Some people felt like it was. Some people felt like it wasn't worth the $39. That's what a review is for. I wanted this palette for myself, but I also wanted to review it for you guys as well. So I went ahead and decided to review it for you guys. So this, of course, is my honest opinion. I am not telling you to go out and purchase this eyeshadow palette. If you're into neutral eyeshadow palettes and you are thinking about getting this and you want to go out and get it, I think you should. I'm going to say this. Do not go out and spend your coins because you saw me spend my coins. You need to, these review videos are basically helping you guys see all of our opinions, swatches on our skin, what we feel about the palette, which is helpful, but at the end of the day, it's your decision to go out and spend your money on these makeup products. So I'm not telling you to go out and spend money on this eyeshadow palette, but if you are thinking about getting it, I say go for it. That's the most that I can say. But as I said before, I do not regret buying this palette. I do like this palette, and I did say that it's not very workable as far as the color range, the shades. It is a neutral palette, but at the same time, most neutral palettes are neutral palettes. You see you have these colors down here. You wouldn't really think those are neutral palettes. These two shades remind me of being in a smoky palette. The rest of them, they're pretty neutral. So overall, just the fact on that, that's kind of one thing that I was kind of disappointed in, is the fact that it's just not too workable. You can't really create, in my opinion, a bunch of looks. But I said that's really not a bad thing. But I also said, you guys know, I can probably try to create some kind of look using this palette besides just this one. So I'm gonna give it a chance. I didn't want to do a first impressions. I literally wanted to swatch it a couple times, see how I feel about it, do a look, and then give you guys a review on it. I will leave the Urban Decay link down below. I purchased this from Sephora, but I will leave all the information down below as far as the eyeshadow shades and stuff like that. You guys know I pretty much, when it comes to my description box, I want to make sure I provide as much detail as I can for you guys. So make sure you guys look for the tutorial video if you have not seen it yet. Like I said, I do not know which one will be first, but this pretty much concludes my review on this eyeshadow palette. Once again, I do like it. I don't regret buying it. I will be putting some use into it. If I do end up purchasing the other one, I will do another video for that. I will let you guys know, of course. Right now, I do not need to spend any coins, so hopefully that palette is still available when I decide to buy something else. So let me know down below what you think about this palette, especially if you have the palette. I want to know your opinions and thoughts on it. If you don't have the palette, just let me know in general what you think about it. You can let me know which shades that you like and all that good stuff. You guys know I'm pretty interactive with you. So go ahead, just down below, comment whatever. If you like the palette, if you have the palette, don't like it, all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So of course, if you have not subscribed yet, and this is your first time here, do not forget to click that subscribe button. Also, click that bell. The bell is the notification bell, so it will notify you when there's a new video up from me. If you liked this video, go ahead and thumbs it up. Don't forget to share it, of course. Comment, all of that good stuff. I do not think I left anything out. Y'all know how I do. I need to start writing stuff down because I tend to forget some stuff, but I'm getting off track. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in my next one.